Subscribe for Reddit's controversial opinions. Most school bullies are not troubled. I've seen a lot of people say that most bullies come from a broken home or they're just jealous because you have what they don't. However, that is far from the case. They're not victims of abuse, they're spoiled little shits who think they can get away with everything. Most bullies have tons of friends, relationship success, possessions, and parents that spoil them. They don't pick on people because they're troubled and broken inside, they pick on people because it's funny to them, plain and simple. That's why you should never be friends with a bully, you need to knock the fucker out. Edit, holy fuck, this blew up, I was gone for a couple hours and then I come back to this. Edit 2, okay, 16k upvotes for this. Honestly surprised. Most bullies I've seen have come from a home that encourages that behavior or even tells them it's the right thing to do, so it's not really a surprise they turn out that way. Seriously, why do people feel they need to give bullies some sort of pass? There are just bad people in the world. I've met people with the best upbringings who are just awful and people with the worst who are the sweetest people, vice versa, and everything in between. The world is a cruel place. You hit the nail on the head here. Most bullies come from families of overachievers, or their parents were probably popular assholes. It works because whoever gets away with being the most terrible child in school tends to be popular. It was always the kids who could push buttons without upsetting adults. I used to bully a kid when I was like 6, I still feel like a piece of shit about because there was nothing wrong with me. I have amazing and accepting parents who are proud of everything I do, I live in a nice home in a safe neighborhood. I just bullied that kid because I felt like it. Edit, wow, I didn't expect this to blow up. For some context on why I feel like AP. S is because years later I found out the girl I bullied was put up for adoption by her parents because she was mentally disabled. I broke down when I found that out, and it's the reason I try to be as nice as possible with everyone around me. Now this is a good topic for discussion. Coming from a troubled home does not always mean having drunk idiots as parents or any similar kind of issues at home. As you said, many of them are spoiled and they can get away with everything, which is also a bad way of raising a child. From what I saw in school, bullying really started to increase in grades 4 or 5, peaked at about grade 7 or 8, and then started to decline, and the main driver was social status. The bullies tended to be kids at the margins of a social group, and they picked on kids to elevate their status with their peer group. I think so much of the effort to eliminate bullying is ineffective because they fail to recognize this. They're spoiled little shits who think they can get away with everything. This is precisely the case of the child that picks on my children. His parents make a great living, father owns a local business, but are never around because they are too busy working. Kid has all the latest gadgets and cool clothes, but is always wandering around the neighborhood and causing trouble. Bullies score higher in psychopathy checklists just like internet trolls. https://www.ibtimes.com/internet trolls are usually men who are psychopath sadists. Study says 2621547. https://www.ibtimes.com/internet trolls are usually men who are psychopath sadists. Study says 2621547. Yes. I'm glad someone other than me said it. Whenever I see some people with bullies come from an abused past, I always reply with no, they come from a family that ignores to teach their child something about kindness and manners, and boy, do I get shit on by everyone in this sub. In school the teachers showed us videos about bullying and always portrayed the bullies as victims at their family, and this couldn't be more wrong. Bullies are popular, handsome, and rich. When they make fun of someone they don't usually do it in front of everyone, but rather talk shit and make jokes behind their backs. The point of the videos is good and everything, but it isn't totally real, and that has led the teachers to punish only the abuses they see on TV that are more commonly physical. And, unpopular opinion, it's better to be punched in the face cause it's easier to respond taking legal actions or directly punch the bully, rather than almost everyone making fun of you because something the bully said about you. Also, I understand teachers can be stressed sometimes and don't give a fuck, but hey, a little help wouldn't be bad, especially when being bullied can affect your grades. At the end, this shit is everyone's problem. This is scientific fact, not an unpopular opinion. Studies have long since refuted the idea that bullies are somehow damaged or unsocial. What it boils down to is that they're just assholes. Yeah, most of my bullies have been spoiled brats. The stereotypical mean girls. Why does everyone sympathize with bullies? Even if they come from a bad home, that doesn't give them the right to be assholes. And most importantly, like Op said, don't tell on the bully. Knock 'em out. As a short, poor, and chronically sick kid, I was a great target for bullying. All of my bullies were wealthy, popular jocks who did it for sadist pleasure. When I reported it, I was told to get over it and deal with my own problems. When I punched a kid in the face for saying I was sick because my mom was a sinner for having a miscarriage, I was reprimanded for bullying. Teachers know nothing about their students. The only trouble the average bully should have is trying to find their teeth. If you came to my junior high school, you would definitely have your beliefs challenged. Specifically because the troubled kids weren't the bullies, they were the targets. I agree completely. I didn't get bullied until I went to some rich boy Catholic school for 1 year. And the bullying was relentless. They're insecure is the most annoyingly overused response by victims so they can just cope and feel better about themselves. And it's almost always false. I agree, it's about entertainment and gaining social power by being funny. Bullying exists at work and throughout life. Kids should be trained to have thick skin and bully back to stand up for themselves if needed. I was never once bullied by a kid that had other issues besides being a sociopath. I was, however, sexually harassed by underprivileged kids, older and younger than me. Growing up was not fun. Yet when I think of the past, it's not the underprivileged kids I am angry with the most, it's the spoiled brats in our girl-dominated high school. In high school I was bullied a ridiculous amount by kids who had the nicest parents around. I would go to their house and it was a totally functional household. When the kids got to school, they dropped the act and all tried to be the cool guy at my expense. 7th and 8th grade were so miserable that I started weightlifting and boxing going into freshman year. I hit my growth spurt and because pretty huge over freshman year, and then when I came back junior year people thought I did steroids. The bullying stopped that year or significantly slowed down. They only did shit when they had a group of 3 or more of them and it was easier to go after the weaker kids. Never underestimate the need for someone to be cool when their parents aren't there to tell them right from wrong. The best solution to getting bullied is to get in the gym and train to fight. Or at least that's what worked for me.